Hi, welcome to Inside Practice, a video series diving into the latest legal insights, news, and thought leadership with industry experts. Today, we're joined by Dylan Adams, partner at Davis Wright Tremaine, a best-selling author, and he's also a key speaker at Legal Wellbeing on the 8th of May in New York. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Great. So I'm sure our audience would love to hear a bit more about you and your background.
Yeah, so I'm a partner at Davis Wright Tremaine, and my focus is on patent prosecution. So what I do is I plan patent protection, draft and file patent applications, and work them through the examination process. In a lot of ways, I'm sort of a glorified technical writer, so I have to understand the inventions of my clients as well, if not better than them. So I have a technical background. So I have like a master's in electrical engineering, undergrad in biochemistry and molecular biology. But really, my job is a lot of times like sitting around writing about robots all day and geeking out on fun technology.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. I like it.
Brilliant. So I want to dive straight in. So obviously you're a key speaker at our next event, Legal Wellbeing in New York. I'd like to ask you a few questions around your sessions, because you're not just speaking at one, you're speaking at two. So let's just dive straight in. I would love to know, in a diverse political climate, how can law firm leaders keep their culture supportive and cohesive so that outside stresses don't erode employees' mental well-being on the job?
Yeah, it's really difficult these days. And so I think one of the biggest things is to articulate and reaffirm the core values of the firm, especially now where speaking out about what's going on with things, that can put a target on your back as far as a firm goes. But at the same time, a lot of people are really concerned about the rule of law being eroded. And so being transparent about what our core values are and what we're doing about these things is really important to people. There's a lot of fear out there. And a lot of times where firms are, a lot of times they're not actively, it doesn't seem like they're actively doing something, but there are people who are thinking about these things a lot. I can tell you from personal experience, there are people who are working on these issues day in, day out as things change on a daily, hourly basis. And law firms are taking a measured response to what is going on. There are some people who want things to, they want people to make a huge stand, and other people are concerned, hey, we shouldn't say anything because that puts a target on our back. But just being able to articulate what is being done, what our core values are, and giving people the opportunity to provide input on those things is really important. But one of the things that people suffer from a lot is that they feel powerless, like they can't do anything. And I found that giving people pro bono opportunities can be really important, to feel like they're actually able to effectuate change themselves. Having people be able to support causes they believe in or fight against causes they don't believe in, or even help people who've been affected by some of the policies that people feel like are unjust. Giving people a way to actually do something is really important.
Brilliant. Yeah, definitely. I agree. And so from your experience, can you share an example of an initiative that has helped build a more resilient, supportive culture in a legal workplace, and what changed as a result of that effort?
Yeah, so it's probably not an official policy, but it's something that I hear at Davis Wright Tremaine a lot, is that we have a no asshole policy. And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter whether you are the top biller rainmaker at the firm, bad behavior is just not tolerated. And so you can be, that top person, you can be a staff attorney, you can be a legal secretary. It doesn't matter who you are. We just don't tolerate bad behavior. And a good example is, there's some pervasive stories, especially in the Seattle market, at some big firms where there was this one big partner who threw staplers and would yell at people and break things, and he got away with it because he was sort of politically connected and he brought in a lot of money to the firm, and so people allowed this bad behavior to happen. And that really creates a toxic work environment where other people then start treating other people badly, and then it creates a culture where people feel like, well, as I get more senior as attorney, then I deserve to then be able to treat people badly, and it just creates a terrible toxic work environment, not a place that I want to work. And I'm glad I'm at a firm where those things aren't tolerated.
Yes, absolutely. And since we've got the event coming up, which is just around the corner now, I'm curious to know, what are you personally most excited to discuss at the next event on fostering wellbeing in law firms. And what do you hope attendees, whether they're firm leaders, junior associates, or HR professionals, what do you hope they'll take away from those discussions?
Yeah, I hope people can take away that well-being is something that is positive for everybody. And I think that there can be sometimes a negative connotation that, well, it's a bit touchy-feely, or it's coddling people or being soft on folks. And that's just totally not the case. Well-being is something that it helps everybody, and it helps the bottom line. I mean, like for me, like the whole no asshole policy, I enjoy working at a firm where things are positive, and that's just the way it should be. I think that there are some people who somehow think, well, like that's how law firms are, and it's just, this hard, toxic environment, and they see things on TV where it's really rough and, rough and tumble at the law firms, and it just shouldn't be like that, at least as far as I'm concerned. And it's something that also helps the bottom line as well, is that, having happier people, you're gonna have better retention. You're not gonna lose important institutional knowledge. And you're going to have people who are better able to serve their clients. And as a result, that's going to help client relationships and, again, really improve the bottom line. So it's wellness and fostering well-being. It's not something that comes at the expense of firm culture or the bottom line or effectiveness in your practice.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Dylan. For all of our listeners, if you're interested in hearing more about wellbeing, you can attend our event, Legal Wellbeing in New York, on the 8th of May. There'll be a link in the description below. And thanks very much for speaking with me today.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to the events. It should be great.